is finally here. The rumor is true. The end is near. Only 5 chapters away before Gintama ends. I know the ending was announced a long time ago, but even then, a countdown can still bring tears. I won't be questioning how Sorochi will conclude the story in 5 chapters. Rather, go with the ride and hope for the best, fulfilling conclusion to the blissful journey. That all said, it's rather hilarious and strange that the countdown begins when we are in the middle of a guerrilla crisis. Because when I think of a solid conclusion, I think of a guerrilla warfare. See what I did there? Yeah. The chapter begins with a recap from the last incredible dialogues heavy one. Only now, it has translations. That way, we can feel the intense, emotional words that these wonderful gorillas has been spouting. The punk rock looking gorilla barge in to stop the wedding and want to take his family back. No wonder I was feeling so emotional by his deep words last time. So much passion. Kondo now has a chance to call off and return home. Believe his words will send chills to many. No doubt, they did. But not exactly what he intended. We continue off with a gorilla brawl. That was a fun recap. What's also fun is the chapter itself because it is classic Gintama stupidity at its finest. Seriously going to miss this series when it's over. It's a good timing to now include translation of the gorilla's language because it's more historical that way. The comedy is Kondo has no clue whatsoever. After shouting the wrong message, everyone is applauding for his courageous and integrity to stand up against his enemy. It's misunderstanding at its finest. It's historical that everyone loves him even more. Yet Kondo thinks he has done the right thing. It only elevates his certainty when the punk too applaud for his strong statement. I can't stop laughing at the stupidity that everyone is falling under. Well done, Kondo. This definitely screams the final 5 chapters. What makes it grander is despite the punk's respect to him, he still wants his family back, so he would do it by force. That's right, we have a gorilla fight for our ending. And surprisingly, it's pretty entertaining. The father, who I am referring to instead of the punk, strikes Kondo, who has yet to understand that they are battling, not forming a deep friendship. He actually believes that the gorilla's race has their way of forming a pact with their handshake. Yes, because when I show friendship, I try to kill that person. What's stupider is Kondo wants to respond that notion with sincere words of wishing him the best of luck. But of course, he didn't say that. Instead, he practically taunts him like a fodder. If Kondo dies here, I will honestly laugh till the final chapter releases. The battle grows intense as the father tries to toss him away, but Kondo manages to get a chokehold position. Of course, Kondo thinks this is a traditional method of friendship, so to show gratitude, he strangles him to death. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean a gorilla's hug. You may wonder, why the hell does he think it is working? It's because everyone is reacting like everything is going accordingly, at least in Kondo's view. He thinks the father is happy when in reality, he is pissed and being strangled in agony. Everyone is cheering on to kill the father. Oh, and Kondo insults him instead of what he believes showing respect. I don't know if I should defend his stupidity, but all I can do is smack my face with each page. The battle enters the climax with a bunch of bananas piling up in Kondo's mouth. I know what I just said. It is funny how the spectators were spouting out Shonen's dialogue about the character's agility. However, what's sticking out to them is Kondo not chowing down the bananas. That's because he can't take it anymore. Even though he technically started this feud, it ends on a laughable way. Kondo finishes him off with a one-liner about bananas because it's epic, and he delivers the final blow with his banana to the face. Thankfully, this series is targeted for teens. Otherwise, my eyes would need to be bleached. That said, best battle ending ever. I die when Kondo finally realized that he's doing everything wrong. Not only he's being celebrated like a champion, but the whole scene acts like it hit a total reset button. Kondo is so done with life. I like how Sorochi mixes up the translation when Kondo announced he's the champion and all gorillas are blood type B. That's oddly realistic when speaking incorrectly. This was so much fun. The chapter shifts back to serious because this series is nearly over. Tendo Shu takes notice of the gorilla's mothership called Banana. Hilarious. Regardless, they don't see it as a threat since they are busy with the wedding ceremony. It's as if they are ignoring filler. Is it really though? Anyway, Tendo ship's Kuyo is basically a stealth ship that is equipped with a stealth weapon, Seirei Gate. Kasura explains how it works. Seirei Gate is the weapon Tendo Shu uses to absorb the Altana from planets. It's practically like a vacuum that sucks away objects. However, this one creates very little sound during the process. I would like that for my home. The problem for Gintoki and others is Tendo Shu don't have to land on Earth when they can just absorb it from their ship. Most importantly, Gintoki won't have a chance to get close to Shoyo. But Kasura, the best guy he is, knows about his capability, so he already has a plan in mind. Kuyo draws closer and closer when suddenly the anti-aircraft weapons begin shooting. Kasura is one step ahead of everyone. Sadly, Tendo Shu counters them by sending out thousands of smaller ships to take all the hits. Now, they can absorb Altana as they wishes with no hope to interact with Shoyo. Despite the series is ending very soon, I am curious, how can they bring them down? The bride Bubbles drags the father to the control room and orders her men to land on Earth. Well, what do you know? Kondo did something right. Even with all those hiccups, the running gags appears to end, with Kondo no longer speaking with Uho, now speaks normally and maturely. You know he's serious when he has his pants on. As if the whole gorilla shenanigans weren't surprising enough, another twist comes in. Bubbles can speak human language. Wow, this series ends is nothing but surprises. We learn her side of the story, and surprisingly, it's touching. She was really heartbroken by Kondo, and what's worse, she understood what he said. It's best to guess than to know exactly to lessen the effect. Because of the fallout, she was depressed and went through a bad phase of her life. However, she was able to have a family because of him, so it's not all bad. If anything, it gave her a new light on life and no longer care about status. All she wants is to be with her family on Earth. What a sweet gorilla. I am touched. Finally, things are going Kondo's way now that he's going back to Earth. That is until the rest of gorillas learn about Kondo being the man who heartbroken Bubbles. Now they are pissed as hell at Kondo. And yet, he believes everyone is celebrating with him in a farewell party. The stupidity continues. Even when they are crushing him to death, he first thought, oh crap, they're killing me. But then he thinks, oh, I get it. They are seeing me off in their utmost passionate way. I laughed so much, for he thought one was crying to see him go away, when in reality, Kondo was choking him out. How does this chapter even exist? Junior returned to his not father Kondo and swings him around, latching on his underpants. Seriously, if he dies here, I would just laugh. Bubbles still want to land on Earth, but the war zone by Kuyo is blocking their path. Before you can say, why do we waste a chapter on a filler? Kondo crashes on the panel to activate a weapon to fire at Kuyo. The best part is, it has no defense from the back, so it's going to get a direct hit. That's right, the world will be saved by gorillas. That is comedy genius. Only the series can write this. As sad it is to hear the news about the ending, it doesn't take away my joy, for this was a pretty entertaining chapter all in all. It has plenty of laughs from start to finish, with the wacky shenanigans of the gorillas. The plot is advancing now that Kuyo is about to be brought down. At least that's what it appears to happen next. It almost feels like the announcement never happened. I don't want to think so much on what can be done in 4 chapters. It's best to enjoy the ride. We got to see the first Gintoki. We only have 4 more to go. And that will do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. I cannot believe it's ending. I know the series has to end. I kind of wish I didn't see that countdown, for I don't want it to think of how it's going to conclude. But I will trust in Sorochi. That being said, it's still sad because the announcement is just a heartbreaking thing to read. 5 chapters to go. You know there's a time limit this time. You know when it's going to end. And it's just so sad. All good things must come to an end. How do you feel about the announcement? What do you think of this chapter? How do you think it's all going to end? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.